We are getting late in the springtime, and that means that the OAC championship events are coming fast as the... that's not how I wanted to start out. Take two. I love not being live. 3, 2, 1. The OAC championship events are coming on in somewhat of a domino effect. It seems like every weekend we're getting ready for the next OAC title. This time it's in track and field as the Baldwin-Wallace men's and women's track and field teams get ready to compete down at Muskingum. And so we visit with head coach Matthew Cole, who is, I would imagine, probably pretty pleased with the way things have gone so far in the spring. It seems like as a team, your team scores have been pretty competitive, and you've had some individuals that have certainly shown as well. Let's start on the men's side. Ted Aklaitis was just named the OAC's Field Athlete of the Week. Had a tremendous week for him. Who would you say is maybe a couple guys to watch that fans might be attracted to?
Ted, definitely. Ted is a guy that had a rough start to his college track season, was in a car accident right after Christmas break, had some rehab issues coming off of high school with his shoulder, so he's now finally rounding into shape. We're really excited about his performances. Cody Smith in the shot put, without a doubt. Zach Dysert in the hammer as well. And obviously Jordan Leverad, All-American indoors last year in the 200, has as good a shot as anybody to win the 200 this weekend. So, yeah, on the men's side, those are probably our heavy hitter guys that need to produce and need to score some points in order for the Yellow Jackets to finish better than what we finished indoors. That's for sure.
I would think, though, that as you look at some of the results from the teams, team scores as the spring has gone along, you seem to be constantly finishing in the at least top third of the field, whether it's 6 teams in the field or 17, I think there was at one point. So are you relying on just a few guys to score points, or do you think that when you get to the conference championship meet that maybe you can get points from a few other places?
The way this team is built right now, we're relying on a few guys.
Okay.
We don't have the depth of the program that we want to have in the future. So right now we are relying on a handful of guys to score a lot of points. If they don't perform, we don't perform. We do have some other younger guys in some relays that are going to help score some points for us. But in all honesty, it's going to be that core of men who have to get the job done for the Yellow Jackets to get on top.
How about on the ladies' side? I know that obviously in the last couple of years the program has seen a lot of success, but lots of graduation as well. A chance now to compete on the conference championship level and see some ladies qualify for the national meet.
Yeah, on the ladies' side, different than the men, we're pretty strong in most of our events. The women's throws obviously has been the staple of the BW women for decades, and is still our staple today. We have some very talented upperclassmen, but also freshmen, underclassmen who this will be their first outdoor championship. Looking forward to seeing how they perform. Across the board, in the high jump, Aaron Casper, in the hurdles, Lindsey Armstrong. And as we continue through, our sprints and jumps and throws, we do have some ladies in there that are capable of winning a conference championship. And then you have, young ladies like Kelly Brennan in the 800 and the 15. She's got a rough weekend ahead of her. The OAC is one of the top conferences in the country. And if you're a conference champion, you're probably one of the best in Division III. And Kelly's got a tough weekend ahead of her in the 800 and the 15. She's gonna be racing against probably regarded as one of the finest distance runners in the country in Division III right now, in Emily Richards. So it'll be a good weekend. We're hoping, as long as the ladies get the job done.
You mentioned the throwing side and how that's been a staple of BW's program. Casey Klaus has had a tremendous year.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing her compete on her final OAC stage. She's a national caliber kid. I hope she has a great day, and she's going to have a few more weekends once she walks across the stage next Saturday, and she'll get an opportunity to qualify and get into the national meet up at Spire.
I know that you have obviously been around track, especially in this conference, basically your whole life.
Yes.
And you've had a chance to go through these kinds of meets a lot. So the question twofold. One, how much do any of your student athletes pick your brain on this kind of event to try to get ready? And two, do you have a favorite memory from past OAC championship meets?
Gosh, there's been a lot of OAC championship meets. I don't know if they per se pick my brain, but I will, tell stories and things that I remember from growing up to competing myself. To say that I have one favorite OAC memory, that's tough. My dad won in 1995 indoors, which was a really big deal. I think it was 95 or 96, when they upset Mount, I think, at Ohio Northern, and that was a big deal. I mean, I remember that as a kid. I mean, I wasn't that old, but competing as an athlete, I was part of 4 conference championships, and had a great career. But I can't give you one specific memory of a great one, because they're all pretty good.
Safe to say, though, this time of year probably brings back a flood of fun memories.
Well, it definitely will this weekend. I mean, I grew up in New Concord. I lived right up Montgomery Street, right down the road from the stadium where we're competing. So, yes, it will bring back a lot of memories. That's for sure. So, looking forward to getting back down to New Concord and Muskingum and seeing where my parents went to college and where I grew up. So, yeah, it should be fun.
In your eyes, again, track and field is so difficult to say, well, let me put it this way. Other than winning an event or winning as a team, there are plenty of barometers of determining success. So in your eyes, for the Jackets to be successful this weekend, regardless of if you go out and win the conference championship, what needs to happen?
They need to compete to win their prelim. They need to compete to win their final. They need to compete to win their flight. Whatever event our Jackets are in, they need to compete to win that flight, prelim, event, whatever it might be. The one thing that I think a lot of people get hung up on is the fact that you need to go out there and have a big PR. You don't have to PR to win an OAC championship. I've told some of my athletes this, that 3 out of the 4 OAC championships that I won were not PRs, but they were wins. And getting out there and competing to win is the most important aspect to that. It's not going out and running a stellar time that's one of the best in the country. That doesn't matter. It's going out and being first to the finish line or throwing a centimeter farther than the person in second place. Going out and just competing to win your event is how the Jackets will be successful. There's no doubt about that.
Well, we're looking forward to covering it all on Saturday from Muskingum. We'll have all the coverage right here on bwyellowjackets.com.